friends.
Aunt Liz TV!
She's a magician in the kitchen.
Aunt Liz TV!
Watch it on Mondays and Thursdays.
Aunt Liz TV!
Cooking yummy foods and tasty treats.
Aunt Liz TV!
Give up orders and taste the bud sleep. Aunt Liz TV. It's time to eat.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tasty Thursday. Today we're making one of my very favorite desserts. It's kind of a dessert, kind of a snack, and I actually have eaten it for both. Today we're making what I like to call my favorite strawberry fluff dessert. Now, there are a few different ways you can serve this. I usually just eat it plain in a fancy dish, but you can also use it as a pie filling. So if you have a graham cracker or a nut crust that you like to use for pies, you could use this as the filling, and it's delicious. So we have just a couple of ingredients. The first thing you're going to need is a cup of boiling water, and mine is already boiling. You'll need your adult assistant to do that part for you. Then you're going to need a packet of jello. And I'll go ahead and dump this in my bowl here. And then you're going to need some strawberry yogurt, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and then some Cool Whip topping. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my boiling water into my jello. And I'm going to just give that a stir until all of the jello particles are dissolved. Now I'm using strawberry jello and strawberry yogurt, but you could also use any other flavor. You could do orange or lemon or peach, whatever you like. The thing to make sure is that your yogurt is the same flavor as your jello. I have tried mixing like strawberry jello with lemon yogurt, and I didn't think it tasted that great. But if you think it sounds good, give it a try and then let me know how it turns out for you. So now that our jello has dissolved, we're going to take 1 cup of cold water and pour that into our jello. And we're going to just stir it up. That looks great. We're going to just let that sit for just a minute. Okay, so now we're going to take our cream cheese, which has been softened, and we learned in the fruit pizza video what softened means. We just left it on the counter for about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more. And then we're going to take our yogurt and open it up and dump our yogurt in on top of our softened cream cheese. Get it all nice and cleaned out here. And then we're going to mix this up. Now if you don't have a stand mixer, what you're going to do is just mix it for a couple of minutes until it's blended together. But because I have a stand mixer I'm going to use, we're going to go ahead and blend it up for just a few minutes, and we'll come back and check it. Okay, our mixture is nicely mixed, so we're ready to add our next ingredient. So what we're going to do now is take our Cool Whip, and I'm using just plain. They do make a strawberry flavored one that I have never used for this, but I bet that would be good too if you wanted to be adventurous and try it. So we're going to take our whipped cream, and I'm going to do 1 cup. Now if you like this extra fluffy, you might want to add more, but I find that usually 1 cup is about enough for me. So we're going to just dump this in. Dump this into our mixture. And now we're going to give this just a quick mixing. Just maybe 30 seconds just to get it all nicely whipped. See how it's whipping up nicely and getting really creamy? So I'm going to let that go for just a little bit, and then we'll come back and add our jello. Okay, our whipped cream is mixed together very nicely with our first ingredient. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and add our jello. Now you're going to need either to be extremely careful or have your adult assistant help you with this part, because sometimes your jello wants to splatter. Now I'm using a measuring cup that has a pouring spout on it, so that does help a little bit. So we'll still have to be very careful. So we'll just add it, and you can see that it's starting to get nice and red, and it'll actually be pink by the time we're finish mixing it, it's not only a really tasty dessert, it's beautiful. So now you need to be really careful when you start mixing this because the jello is going to want to go all over. So you turn it on low speed. And then see it mix around. And you're going to want it to mix for about 3 minutes is what I usually do. So we're going to let this mix for 3 minutes. We'll check it. I might need to mix it a little bit more, but 3 minutes should be pretty good estimate. And then we're going to be ready to pour it into our dessert bowl. Okay, our strawberry fluff is nicely mixed together. I'm very excited. This really is one of my favorite desserts. So, you can see that it's nice and pink in color. Now, if you were making lemon or orange, yours would be yellow or orange at this point. But what I'm going to do is I've got 2 different kinds of dishes you can see. I've got these fancier dishes that I'm going to do a couple of because we'll have those with dessert at home. But what I really love to do is to take this with me to work, and I have this with my lunch. So I have these little containers that have lids that are perfect for taking in my lunch. So I'm going to start in filling up, and I just use a small measuring cup and just fill it up. I don't quite fill it all the way to the top. About 3/4 actually. Now it's nice and creamy. And the creaminess comes from whipping it longer. So I ended up whipping mine about 5 minutes just to get it nice and creamy, which is probably what you would want to do if you're going to use this as a pie filling, because the creamier it is at the beginning, the more delicious your pie is going to taste. So I'm going to finish filling these up. Now these need to sit overnight. So that's why at my house it's nighttime. So I'm making them at nighttime so that when I'm packing my lunch in the morning for work, they are ready to go. And all I have to do is just throw them in my bag. So on my last one, I'm going to put these in the fridge, and then we will check in tomorrow and see how they taste test. Okay, it's the next day, and our fantastic strawberry fluff is nice and fluffy and ready to be tasted. And this really is for my lunch, but it's so delicious. I just have to have it taste this morning. So I'll take just a tiny taste. That is good stuff. You have to make this recipe.